Mapbox is a platform for designing totally custom maps. So when you go to Foursquare and look for coffee, those are our maps underneath there. Pinterest, they wanted like a really bold, crazy font for pinning vacation spots. Folks like GitHub use us more to just show data. So my background was all international development. We wanted organizations to help look at their pile of data and visualize it. So we started building these open source mapping tools from public health groups, mapping malaria, World Bank folks looking at economic indicators, a lot of election work in Afghanistan with State Department. So you got people with real-time data feeds coming in. They want to be able to see what's going on, and the visualization layer lets you see that. The map becomes that canvas. And then we were totally bootstrapped. So again, doing this for the NGOs, started getting a lot of commercial traction and have grown the company more in the commercial direction recently. We have a full world map all powered by OpenStreetMap. And it's like Wikipedia for maps. So last month, over 20,000 people went in and added data, literally looked at imagery and traced the road, traced their house, put the name on the road. And so the world, there are 25 million miles mapped in OpenStreetMap already. So it's the most detailed map of the world that's all open. So we take that open data and take other open data sets from governments and put that into a platform that lets you do all the design. Things like color and font, which are kind of cool, but most importantly, you choose what features you want to show up. So you can make a terrain map, make a satellite map, and then be able to put your own data on top of it. And main customers really want to use this on mobile and web, and making that fast and interactive and cool. Right now we have 5,000 paying platforms. What's going to get really interesting are more sensors coming online, and you have a lot more people trying to work with that data. So, for example, the drone space has been awesome for us last year. People going up, flying, where are they going to put their imagery? Literally being able to pipe that right into our platform and then have that show up on their app. Same thing with the micro-satellite space. They're the really small satellites, but they have really quick revisit times. So people are getting all this imagery streaming in, and they're able to use our platform to process it right into a map. So we're still a really small team. We're about 80 people right now, split between Washington, D.C. and San Francisco. And it's a total mix of cartographers, data people, engineers that are making the software. Again, we started making this software for ourselves, literally dogfooding this to help out these international development organizations. So we've had this kind of culture of hey, we're building this stuff, we're using it daily, and then we're putting it out there as a platform. Yeah, the blend of art and tech here, that was what was cool. Honestly, people walking around that really get a sense of design being fundamental to communication, and that was great. So a lot of different people. The big part of the map and data panel was just talking about the disruption happening in the industry. A couple of years ago, map data, like I just described, of OpenStreetMap would cost billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars. And then you look at this user-generated content coming in and things like Amazon Cloud, you're able to take massive amounts of data and process it. None of this would have been possible 2 years ago. So, hanging out with David from the Weather Channel, he's just yeah, we have sensors now, and we're updating the weather literally in 5-minute chunks. It's amazing, right? And so, we're on the other side of that. He's doing the algorithms for data. We've got the technology to actually take that data and render it into a map. And now the tech is finally getting fast enough to have the map update in real time with all this data.